taking a break. I was just writing to a friend, responding to something that she said to me, and I was telling her how recently God has been talking to me about our cycles and seasons. And I'm in a really interesting state in my life because when I was younger, I would have that monthly cycle that would kind of reset. And in my 30s, that was disrupted. And so, unlike most women who would have a very dependable cycle, mine was all over the place. And I didn't have the certainty of that rhythm in my life, in my body. And I know there are a lot of women who complain when that time of the month rolls around, but it's a reminder. It's a reminder that things are working well and that your body is doing what it was designed to do. Life is the same. We have cycles in life that we depend on. We have rhythms that we depend on. And when you are a woman who doesn't have a rhythm or you have lost your rhythm, it is really hard to function in your relationships, in your work, and just being yourself. So, one of the things that I'm going to be talking about more, I talk about them more privately with VIPs, but I'll be talking about it more here, is creating that rhythm for yourself. What are the repeatable actions that you can take in your day to day that help you remember who you are, help you remember whose you are, help you remember why you're here, and help you remember your vision? When you get to a certain age, you start to question things. You start to question your decisions. You start to question what you've built. And there's a good way to question these things, and there's a bad way to question them. And what I don't want to see is that you hit your 40s, your 50s, or even beyond, and you start to second guess every single thing that you've done in your life, and you start to second guess what you've built. Because many times it's not that we built badly, it's that we didn't check the foundation when we started building. And one of the aspects of the foundation of who you are as a woman is your personal rhythm. It's going to be different for every woman. How do you like to get up in the morning? How do you start your day? What are you going to eat? What are you going to wear? How do you get ready? What's your skincare routine? What is your sleep routine? What is your relationship routine with your spouse or significant other, with your parents, with your children? How often are you checking in with friends? All these things are part of your rhythm as a woman. And it's important to have an intentional and dependable rhythm. And I say start daily. One of the things that you will hear me say very often is that every woman needs 3 daily appointments: appointment with God, her appointment with herself, and then her appointments with others in that order. God should get the first part of your day. He should get the first part of your mind, of your focus, of your attention. One of the things that I do is that I try to keep my journal close by. This is my journal that I just started. This is the November one. And I also have a dream journal, which I have here. I try to have my dream journal in my bedroom because sometimes between walking from my room to here, I forget bits and pieces of my dreams. And I do like to record my dreams because very often God speaks to me in my dreams, or I get revelation about certain things, I also get prophecy. And this is something I had to come to terms with. Ever since I was young, I have dreamed things before they have happened. This isn't woo woo, this isn't weird. Um, I am a spiritual being, and as a spiritual being, God reveals things to me because we speak the same language. And I think it's beautiful. And I want to steward that well. So I make sure as much as I can that I write my dreams down. I read scripture. I pray. I spend time waiting for revelation. Sometimes this is a really long process. It could be hours if I get up very early. Sometimes it's just a few minutes. And I carry that throughout my day. And since I have been doing that, I have had so much more peace and joy and a sense of purpose in my days. Does everything go absolutely according to plan and perfectly? No. But I have peace in the process. And I have a sense of purpose and connection that I did not have before. And I believe in some instances that's actually more important than just getting things done, because I could be very efficient and completely misaligned. And that is not where I want to be. So there's also, for me, because I just turned 50, the aspect of finding a new rhythm or reestablishing. That's a lot of what I'm looking at now, reestablishing some old things that I have let go of that I need to bring back. So it's twofold, actually three. There's letting go of old things. There's evaluating now, and then there is letting go completely of what I used to do and who I used to be. I can't eat the same way. I can't work out the same way. I need different skincare. I need a different sleep schedule. My hair's different. I have a new gray right over here. And I know that as I continue to age, and I do plan on being around for quite a while, there's going to be more grays, and taking care of gray hair is different to taking care of the rest of my hair that is my natural color. Things like that. And I think that often we look at the job, or we look at the family, we look at all these things, and we're not sure what we should do for this next phase. Even as a mother, I have a child who is about to turn 20, so I'm gonna have a child in their 20s. I'm gonna have a teenager, and then I have my youngest is 9. And then we have 2 adult children as well, because my husband had 2 children already when I met him. So I need to be a different woman for them. You know what I mean? So it's not just about me, and it's not just about who I'm becoming, but it's also about my family. It's about my work. Who do my VIPs need me to be? Who does my church community need me to be? Who does my husband need me to be? Who do my friends need me to be? But I'm not picturing those needs through the lens of the other person. I am picturing those needs through the lens of seeing myself as I am. And that word am is evolutionary. When you say, remember this, if you remember nothing else that I said, when you say, this is who I am, remember what you're saying is, this is who I am in this moment. This is who I am does not mean this is all I will ever be. And that's one of the biggest lessons that I have learned, is that looking at me and loving me as I am is not a final statement, because who I am is always evolving. And that is the most beautiful part of this journey of womanhood. I hope this helps. Blessings on your journey. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.